Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to review round 10 of the 2024 AFL season. So just trying to adjust the webcam there a bit. So a bit of a below average week, I suppose, given we only scored a 22.76, which dropped us 2,000 spots in the overall rank, so just outside the top 5k now, which is a bit flat given how well we were doing. But we'll have a look at the team. And so the defence overall was really good, Ryan 122, Dacos was our VC 105, is fine. Houston was our trade-in this week and a 148 from him, so definitely justified paying the extra to bring him in over Stewart or Hayden Young were our other options. Nick Martin with a round 100. Harry Sheasel back to a bit of form with a 117. And then I guess our only sort of error was we played closely for 49 when we could have had Sexton with a 118. So that hurt not getting that on the field. Part of the reason why we didn't do so well. In the midfield, probably a bit underwhelming across the board. I was going to say Butters top score, but Rail top score with a 128. Butters with a 127 is, fine. But then Sarong 118 is probably, acceptable. Horn Francis 117. But then 4 sub-tons with Bont, Merritt, Walsh, Steele. Walsh and Steele I can probably cop given they're under 600k. But, we want a little bit more out of these guys. But, I guess you factor that in with Horn Francis turning up. So that's fine. We had Gawn as captain and a 109. I thought he'd do a lot more than that against West Coast, but didn't quite work out. Tim English with a 91, so a bit up and down, and that was a down at the moment. And we might be sort of stuck with Sweet, Visitini or whatever his name is, got a second game, went well. Might play the third game, and then Soldo's not too far back, so we need to work out what to do there. And then the forward line, and this might be where we're losing a few points. We have focused on trying to get full mid, full defence, and 2 rucks in. But we have neglected the forward line a fair bit. Heaney and Flanders have been great. Then solid from Wilson, Darcy, Fife. We were happy to cop these scores, but we're not happy to cop an 8 from Darcy Jones, particularly given Sexton could have been down here. That's 110 points we've left on the table. And, that's pushing us up towards the 2,400, which seemed to be about par for the round. So, in terms of the head-to-head, so if we load up, so pretty comfortable win for Black Hawk Dow with 25.52. So he's had Tom Green with 95. So, sort of matching my Bont pick or something like that. Jack Steele, I guess, is the closest comparison there. Captain Ryan's obviously a few points on my captain Gawn. Luke Jackson with a 154. So obviously we had Tim English, but he's got Jackson in the forward line. So I guess you compare him to like Jones. That's pretty rough. Jeremy Sharp with an 89 has been a good hold. Massimo tonned up, which is cool. Harley Reid with 158 or 138. Windsor with a 35 is probably the only one we, beat. But even then, you compare him to Jones, that's not much. That's still a win for Steve. But there you go, just having a quick look. You can see a couple of big 2400s. So 2550 from Skits Fits must be still doing well overall. So we'll have a look at the 2500, hey? 2550, that's insane. So I had Flanders, Sexton, Bailey Dale with an 88. Rowan with 169 is fantastic. Hayden Young with a 121. So, I said we did well to go with Houston, but Hayden Young would have been a good shout. Played Revel for a 73, nice. Petrarca with 87 is a bit flat, but I did see Clary went well, 124. Can see there Reno's got him. So a bit stiff, 24.50 and got done by 100 points. And then, so Heaney, Dacos, Green, Bond, Zorko with a 161. So, it's like Zorko, Jackson, very popular in the forward line. We've missed both of them. Um, yeah, other than that, pretty much all the same as what we've got. So, yeah, in terms of picks for this week, I guess what we really want to do is get Sexton down here into F6. I could probably cop, this if I could get this in amongst it too. So it does mean, Closey stays D6 for a little bit longer, which isn't the worst. We can probably wait one more week. Um, but I think, we've got to get Jones off field. And I mean, realistically, what we could do is trade him out. I think we've got to trade Biggie out as well as part of this. So bring Sexton down. Um, and then with 392, we don't really have a lot of options. So we're probably going to go double downgrade this week. So, looking at the options, you've got Richard seems to be the clear and obvious one. So he's going to take up that forward slot. Um, there's not really a defender on the list. You can see Days a forward, Fudge's mid forward. Um, yeah, even Swallows a mid forward. Ethan Phillips, we can wait a week. So I think what we can do is we can actually slide Graham back, and we'll bring in this Fryger into our midfield, and then Joe Richards into our forward line. Yep, that's worked. So it frees up a bit of cash as well. So next week we can, Closey and Graham can turn into, what was his name? I just said it. Phillips, plus, whatever defender we want. And then we can probably start going to work on upgrading our forward line potentially. So if we complete those trades, so pretty much I think the only change is Richards is going to become an emergency there. But I mean, the rest of the team picks itself at this stage, so it's pretty easy in that sense. It's purely just VC and C. So the Dogs in Sydney on Thursday night's very interesting, and even Freo Collingwood. So I guess lots of possibilities for our VC. Gorn plays on Sunday against Marshall, so that'll be an interesting one for captaincy. Um, even like Port against North. So do we go like a Butters or Horn Francis as captain, take an early VC? Um, guess maybe could do something like Ryan. Oh no, sorry, VC Ryan into Butters captain, maybe something like that. Could be interesting. Merritt against Richmond's an interesting shout for the Dreamtime game as well. So definitely some options we can consider. But I guess just gut feel is we need to get Sexton down here. So we'll do the double downgrade this week, and then we can upgrade, or I guess we can even start looking at maybe if we want to upgrade Wilson, for example. I think his break even's quite high, so 76. So he's probably peaked in price. So we could potentially upgrade there um, as a move. I guess it all depends on how close he goes. We may want to get out of that pick sooner rather than later. But we'll just do a nice, short, sharp one for today. So I'll wrap it up there. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below the video. Give us a like if you enjoy the AFL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.